everyone, Miss Bandos here talking about relief printing. So when you are creating a plate for relief printing, you can we carve into it to take away, and then anything that's left on the surface is what gets printed. So you want to take away the negative space. Something you could carve is like just an eraser, or using linoleum. To carve, you need your bench hook. So you want to make sure it is on the edge of the table so it won't move. If I pull on here, if I pull on here, it shouldn't move. I lifted it up, which is what made it move. And then you also want your carving tool, and it has all these tips on the inside. So some are bigger, some are more angled, some are smaller. You want to make sure that they always end up going back in here when they're not in use. So I'm turning this to loosen the top so I can put this pad right here. All right, and then I'm going to practice on this eraser. All right, so I wrote my name out on here. It's really hard to erase on the eraser or on linoleum, so a good thing to use is tracing paper. So on this piece of tracing paper, I wrote my name regular and backwards. I'm ready to transfer it, so I'm going to add lead on the back. Oh, it's already starting. See how it's already transferring like that? When we're carving, this is like a stamp that we're making for the plate. And with any printmaking, really, everything turns out backwards from the plate. So with letters, I want them to turn out backwards like that. All right, so if I have it drawn out backwards and I have the lead on the other side, I can put it on my plate or wherever. I'm just going to put it on the tracing paper since I already had my name drawn out. And I am going to trace over all of the lines. I might use tape to hold it in place so that it doesn't move around, especially if I'm not getting the whole drawing done, like traced out in a class period. You'll definitely want to tape it. Alright, so it shows my name, and then I would know where to carve it. If I can't figure out how to make it backwards, I could draw it out on the tracing paper and flip it over and then color over the whole thing. And then my name will show up backwards on it too. And then that way I know what it's going to look like, I transfer it, and then I can figure out where to carve it on my piece. So I'm going to start with this small one first, and any carve that I make, I want it to go towards this board. I do not want to put my hand like this. That's how you're going to get your finger injured. So I'm going to carve around my name. If I want to switch, I'm not going to start carving this way. I'm going to move my piece and still carve towards the board. All these little pieces and take out. If you're trying to carve a bigger area like this, usually I like to go do the outline and then do bigger areas just to show. I can add a bigger couch here and then carve. I want to be careful with the pressure that I'm adding to this, because if I do too much, it might end up cutting out like this other letter. So I'm being careful. And then stop. You also don't want to carve too deep down. Now, this eraser is thicker, so you can carve a bit more out, where the linoleum is thinner, so you can't carve as much out. And this is harder to carve, so something softer like the eraser is good to try out first, get used to using the material, and then create your design on here. So anything that I'm carving away right now is not going to turn up in my print. So I just want my name to turn out. So I'm carving all of this negative space out. Anything that you want to be white is carved like the color of the paper. You're going to carve it out. Anything you want the color of the ink, you're going to leave it so it's flat on the surface. If you are creating a repeating design, I would use the tracing paper the size of your linoleum, and I would fold it in half and then fold the edges in and say I want like a circle here, maybe with a circle inside of it. When I open it up, that pattern, they're going to line up and repeat. So I would then want to do it on the other side too. So fold it in half, fold these edges in. Open it up, and then I can add in whatever design I want in the center, and that way when I repeat it, I can print and then print again, and the pattern is going to continue to repeat.